Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Lizzie, Arbogast sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside my editor, Santana Wood. We're trying to get further and further away from each other every night. It's a little hard to do, but we're doing our best. We are here once again to bring you all of our latest updates for the coronavirus outbreak, and it seems like I say it every night, but it was another crazy day.
It definitely was. We keep saying this every day, but things continue to change. By the hour, we never know what's coming next. And today, Governor Ivey did put out a statewide mandate with some pretty heavy restrictions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I texted my family and I was like, oh gosh, we're shutting down. That's not exactly true. I mean, we are, there are just some pretty severe restrictions. I think the big one and the big thing that most people have concerns about is obviously the no gatherings of 25 people or more, or gatherings of any size that cannot have 6 feet between people at all times. Then we did reach out to clarify, and that does include businesses. Also, the big one is no on-premise consumption of food or drink in restaurants, bars, or any other similar establishments. And those are obviously things that are going to affect our communities here in Tallapoosa and Elmore counties.
Right, and we will have a story about that in tomorrow's Alex City Outlook about how it is affecting some of our local businesses. And we don't know what this looks like moving forward, but we do know that this is a statewide mandate, and Governor Ivey will be releasing another statement before lunchtime tomorrow, supposedly, kind of clarifying how this is going to impact our workforce, because that is something that Governor Ivey is strong about, keeping our economy doing well. But we'll see how this will affect that.
I will say, obviously, I can't predict the future or anything like that, but I've been communicating with some reporters, friends of mine who live in Pennsylvania, and they are on pretty much a strict shutdown as of 8 o'clock Thursday night. And he was, he did make me feel a little better. A newspaper is considered an essential business because we're able to get out that news to you. He also said their grocery stores are still open, their utilities are still running, all those kinds of things. He literally said, we're not going back to caveman times. So, if you are worried that things are starting to head that way, they will do everything possible to make sure that our lives can run as smoothly as possible during what is already a difficult and scary time.
Right, so be looking for that statement tomorrow. We will update you as soon as possible as we have that clarification as far as how it will be impacting local businesses and employers further.
And also within that mandate that Governor Ivey issued on Thursday afternoon, a lot of this has already kind of been in place, but no visitations at hospitals except for certain care situations like end-of-life situations, maternity situations. Also, the immediate closure of all daycares starting after Thursday, the end of business Thursday. Also, all beaches are closed, and she defined that as basically the Gulf of Mexico beaches. And that, again, we need to reiterate, goes for public or privately owned. It's not something that we feel like anybody can get out of because they're privately owned at this point. So again, it's just that whole maintain your 6 feet at all times.
Right, and again, this is statewide mandated. This is not something that's optional.
Right. I do want to take just a quick break here, and then we're going to come right back, and we're going to get some numbers as well as some local updates and debunk some rumors as well. Hey, we're back. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside our managing editor, Santana Wood. Again, giving you guys the latest coronavirus updates that we have available at this time, 7:15 Thursday night. Won't necessarily be true in an hour, so just a very fluid situation. But do want to go over some numbers with you, the most recent that we have from the Alabama Department of Public Health.
These are as of 4:30 p.m. this afternoon. There were still 0 confirmed cases in Tallapoosa County, with 78 confirmed cases across the state. Elmore County is now up to 5 cases. And these are the latest numbers. In Alexander City, Russell Medical has tested about 60 people, and results are still pending on some of those tests. Over in Dadeville, at the facilities there, Lake Martin Family Medicine and Lake Martin Community Hospital, A total of 4 people have been tested so far, and those results are still pending.
And the one big thing that our contacts at Russell Medical have been telling us is that obviously you have to meet certain state standards before you can even take the test, because testing is so limited at this point. They're testing for things like the flu, strep throat, bronchitis, pneumonia, all those kinds of things first. And if they can rule out that maybe you're feeling your symptoms because of this, then they'll rule you out for the coronavirus testing. So those numbers seem low potentially, but also just keep in mind that they are definitely doing their job up to the standards that's being required of them.
Right, and it does take up to a couple days in order to get these results back. So that's why those results are pending as well, and that can have an impact on the numbers as well.
And then also in Elmer County, we spoke to some officials there at Elmer Community Hospital, and it set up a testing site, correct, a testing tent, and it sent out 69 collection kits since the test began. And again, 5 confirmed cases, and 4 of those were tested from the testing site in Wetumpka.
Elmer Community Hospital also said that they are getting an influx of calls. They've gotten about 200 calls each day over the last week. And this is good because it does mean that people are following that guideline of, if you're feeling symptoms,
yes,
please call your provider or the testing facility first before you go out and try to get a test.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the big news out of Elmer County today was that a teacher within the Elmer County school system did test positive for COVID-19. That was according to Superintendent Richard Dennis. That teacher has, from what I've heard, has been doing one-on-one work with multiple students at multiple schools, including Wetumpka Elementary, Middle, and High, Redland Elementary, Eclectic Elementary, and Elmer County High School. So just really beware of that as that progresses as well.
Right, and that's all we know of that situation at this moment. And again, there are 5 confirmed cases in Elmer County, still 0 over here in Tallapoosa County at the time. Also over in Elmer County, Wetumpka football coach Tim Perry said that construction on the new stadium is moving forward as of right now, as far as he knows, but he can't say 100% certain what the future holds for that.
Yeah, and obviously one of the big things that we've been talking about each night is our business closures. Obviously that's going to be a lot more now, unfortunately. We do want to keep that list updated, but wow, that was one of the things that Coach Perry mentioned, was just that, because so much of that work is contracted out, if one of those contractors does drop out, obviously that'll greatly affect the timeline, but again, I mean, he's stressed along with all of our coaches and athletic directors that they want to do whatever it is that they need to do to keep, especially in their case, the student athletes healthy, but everyone in general. But if you do know of any, at this point, I think our business closures list is moving more towards cancellations and things of that nature. I did see today that the Horseshoe Bend, the 202, I don't want to inaccurately say that, but the anniversary of the Horseshoe Bend battle has been canceled. That was scheduled for March 28th. So again, anything you guys know about out there, please let us know.
Right, we are still building that list, and you will notice in our papers that we haven't been running the typical community calendar that we run, because we're not sure that those events, all those events are still on. So we're trying to give you the most accurate information about the ones that we do know that have been canceled and any modifications some businesses are making. And obviously with today's statewide mandate, there will be no dining in at local restaurants, and people will be either closing their doors for the time being or moving to delivery and takeout only.
Yeah, also in tomorrow's paper, as well as obviously reacting to these new statewide restrictions, President Trump has also announced no evictions, and we got some clarification that might not actually apply on a local level. It's sort of up to the discretion of those local housing authorities, but we do want you guys to be informed on that, especially for people that are worried. A lot of jobs are either going to be lost completely or on hold for at least the time being, so we want you guys to be up to date on what's happening, especially in our communities, as to what you can do to get some relief. So look for that in the paper. Tomorrow, I also talked to some college athletes, and it was kind of sad, One of our Benjamin Russell graduates, Corley Woods, is a Jacksonville State baseball player. and he was really upset about the about his season being canceled. He's a senior this year, and so it was interesting to talk to those guys, and so we'll hear from them in tomorrow's paper as well.
That's right. You want to talk some social media rumors?
Yeah, social media rumors. We got a couple of good ones today. There was actually, my faithful editor made our kind of outline tonight, and there's actually one that I hadn't even heard. And this is a really good one, I think.
So we heard a rumor that the CDC says that there is a Malaysian medicine that can cure COVID-19. This is not fact. The CDC did release yesterday that Malaysia is experiencing widespread spreading of COVID-19, but at this time there is still no cure for COVID-19 according to the CDC.
Another one that I've seen throughout the day is don't worry, Trump's going to send us all a check. That is not fact at this time. President Donald Trump is working with different departments and different authorities to get together proposals. The Treasury Department has a proposal for cash payments, but no details of who they would be sent to, in what time frame, how much they would be. Again, those are all proposals that will eventually go to vote in front of the House and the Senate, and I know that President Donald Trump is trying to get the American people some relief, certainly, but don't assume that Trump is sending us all a check.
That sure would be nice if I would have a check in my mail tomorrow. But
yeah, and it might happen, but the dates that I've seen are, the proposal is April 6th is when the first check would go out. So, there's still that to consider. But again, we do want to reiterate that we are committed on the Outlook as well as our sister papers, Facebook pages, the Tallahassee Tribune, Wetumpka Herald, and Dadeville Record, that we're happy to answer questions, debunk those rumors. If you don't know something, make sure that you're asking us, because we definitely want to get you guys the correct information.
Right, that is what we're here for. Just to recap, I do want to say that there were 0 cases in Tallahassee County confirmed at this time. That number is fluid, could be changing anytime. 5 in Elmore County, and again, this is a fluid situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the big thing that I took away from today in some sports stuff and reading the work of Caleb Turrentine, our sports writer in Wetumpka, those guys are trying to figure out ways to communicate. One of them said that we did a FaceTime workout together. So
that's awesome.
Find ways, whether you're an athlete, a band member, whoever you are, find ways to make sure that you're getting your social interaction in. We don't want to all become hermits at the end of this. Sometimes it's good to have some time alone, but too much time alone cannot be a good thing. So make sure you're taking care of yourselves.
Definitely. And I want to say, too, now more than ever, we always say, please support your local businesses. Mm-hmm. But now it is really crucial with the restaurants having to go to take out and carry out only. That is going to impact our local businesses. And more than ever, we need to be supporting them, going to grab some food, to pick it up, to eat it. Anything that we can do, any services that are being offered by local businesses, remember that they really need us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank you guys for joining us again. Again, if you guys have questions, if there's something that you want us to address on this show, some burning thing that you don't know that you really want to know, please message us, email us, comment on our Facebook posts. We are here virtually 24/7. Even if we're not actually here, we're on our phones. We're always around for you guys. So please feel free to reach out. Absolutely.
And we will continue. Anything you send our way, trust us that we are looking into that information. We are trying our best to verify it, and we will absolutely not release anything that we have not verified and vetted 100%. And continue to come watch us every night here at 7 o'clock. This is my sports editor, Lizzie Arbogast, and I'm Santana Wood, managing editor. Thank you guys for tuning in.
See you tomorrow night.